Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Success God's Way. I am Erin Harrigan, the Hustle with Heart coach and the Healthy Living coach with the global health and wellness brand Arbonne. Welcome to Wednesday. Oh my gosh, Wisdom Wednesday. Got some wisdom to share with you guys today. So first of all, I just want to thank everybody who's been tuning in and sharing this. Those of you who have joined our Success God's Way community. We are really growing with an encouraging, uplifting community, not for the sake of uplifting and the prosperity, rah-rah gospel, but to support each other in the challenge that it is to follow God's way in pursuing success and building a God-centered business that honors Him and serves His people. So fascinating. I wanted to share with you. I've had a couple of conversations over the last 2 days. And one, just how many people have said to me about how I'm boldly standing for Christ. And I just have to tell you guys, it is the Holy Spirit. I don't know. That's all I can say. It's not my words. It is the Holy Spirit. And I do have a deep seated desire to know God more and to know the word more, and to share it with you because, He has called me to be this messenger. He has called me to use my mess as a message. And I was listening to an Elevation Church sermon today. I think it was called Pivot the Purpose, Stephen Furtick. I'll post a picture of it below. Pivotal decisions. And it talks about how God uses everything that we do and we go through in our challenges and our trials and our triumphs to build us into what He wants us to be. And that so many times it does not look the way we thought it would look. And, if you ask me, do I have this burgeoning coaching business that's making me millions of dollars? The answer is no. But I'm not concerned about that because I know that God has a plan for whatever this is. And almost daily, good morning, Julia. Glory be to Him that He is bringing people across my path at least a few times a week that are people that I can serve in coaching. And my Hustle with Heart coaching, helping entrepreneurs align results with God's truth, it's not for everybody. But He is bringing the people that are crossing my path. And I can only tell you that's happening because of obedience. I am not there driving and striving and trying to find the people. This is the path that He's put me on. So Gina, thank you for your words over me. Specifically yesterday. Jessica, thank you for your words and being my first coaching client. Just so much gratitude around that. Okay, let's dive in. So I've been coming to you guys from this Bible study, Experiencing Success God's Way by Dr. Charles Stanley. And this, again, is the Bible that I use, which is the Charles Stanley Life Principles Bible. It is the New King James Version. And as you guys know, and you've seen, I do a lot of highlighting. This Bible was gifted to me by my mentor, Catherine Lutz, when I gave my life to Christ back in October 2014. And what I love about it is there are 25 life principles in here. So virtually anything you can think of, there's a life principle for, and there's commentary around it. So I just love that so much. Okay, so we have been discussing money and success, which we know as God-centered entrepreneurs. Sometimes, we're breaking that habit of money defining what success looks like for us, but we're also careful to understand that God does want us to prosper and He does want us to grow. So yesterday, we started in this section of money and success on the 5 things that Jesus taught about money. I'm not going to review those because you guys can go back and watch the video from yesterday, but I'm going to try to cover I'm probably just going to cover one today because the next 2 are really juicy, meaty ones, and I want to give those their own due. So the third thing that Jesus taught about money is this: those who give generously to the Lord will receive generously from the Lord. And I like to relate this to whom much is given, much is expected. So we are expected as God-centered entrepreneurs to be giving back. And to give generously because then He gives us generously. And I like to think in my own life, For a long time, God allowed me to drive and strive and have a significant level of success, but I wasn't a good steward of that. So he broke that down and moved mountains to show me his will. And he has been building my husband and I back up financially to get rid of the debt that we have, because he has big plans for us. And here's the thing, guys, if God cannot trust you with a little bit, how can he trust you with a lot? And so as you're pursuing success God's way as a God-centered entrepreneur, what are you giving back? Because if he knows that he can trust your heart in giving back, then he knows that he can give to you generously, because you are going to impact his kingdom through that. So here's what Jesus says. This is Luke 6:38, and I will post that below. Jesus said, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you." Whenever we give to others, the Lord returns it to us in the form of what we need. The Lord gives us precisely what we need, and he gives it in an overflowing supply. Furthermore, he very often gives us through people other than those to whom we have given. So a couple of questions for you to think about here. What are the implications of this giving and receiving ratio? What does this mean that you can do when you know that God is going to be generous back to you? Now, I want to caution you, and actually, preaching to the choir here. This is not, well, I'm going to give because God's going to give back to me. This is like, where is your heart in giving and generosity? Then God will bless your obedience and your giving. So we just have to be clear what our motive is, that we have the right motive of why we're giving. All right. And then, this other question says, define what each of the following would be like in a basket of grain, and note how generous each is. So good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So I just want to read to you from Luke 6:38, the commentary by Dr. Charles Stanley, and what he says about this verse. He doesn't have a commentary on it. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, there's no commentary on that. But remember that, Jesus often taught not just in parables, but related to the daily life of those to which he was preaching and teaching. And so this is really about the grain. And so you can imagine the grain pushed down, like good measure of grain, but then pressed really far down so that more can be put in and more can be put in, and then shaken and continuing to put more in, and such a result that it starts to run over. You guys, we are called to give generously. We just are. And again, check your motives. Are you giving because that is what God calls you to and that's your heart? Or are you giving because you know you'll be blessed because of it? So that's lesson 3 of what Jesus taught about money. So short and sweet today, sort of. But I'm going to come back to you tomorrow with the 4th thing that Jesus taught about money, which is all around faithful stewardship. By the way, if you see these shiny things under my eyes, these are my eye masks, which are taking away the puffiness around my eyes and my dark circles. So 3 things for you. 1, get down below, comment, like, share. We need to spread this word, guys. We need the world to understand that they can build a business with God at the center, and they don't have to be afraid of that. But I think that sometimes people are afraid to do that because they think, Lord, I got it. I don't need your help with this. And does that really lead to the wealth I'm seeking? And remember, God's definition of that is very different. Number 2, if there's anyone you know that could benefit from our Success God's Way community, please feel free to add them. I'll post the link below. Remember that that's where our weekly dose videos are posted. So invite your friends to be part of that community. Number 3, I'm going to be launching my podcast on Friday. What? I'm so excited. I am actually meeting with my coach today. Shout out Dawn Schuler. She's amazing. So I can work out the last details so I can start to launch my podcast on Friday. And it is called the Hustle with Heart podcast, helping entrepreneurs align results with God's truth. And I'm super excited. So I'll let you know when that launches so you can get out there and subscribe to it and share it and all that good stuff, because this message needs to get out into the world. Okay, have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning for our next Daily Dose. See ya.